Yo, what's up? It's your boy Doug, a.k.a. Rap Game Michelle Obama, a.k.a. Teenager of the Year, and you are listening to the WNS podcast. May God have mercy on your soul.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now, being broadcast in over 30 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 195 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You can find us on Stitcher, Player.fm, and Beyond Pod. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Please follow us on Twitter at WNS Podcast, Daniel, WNS_Daniel, Tyler. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Tyler _Abear.
Practicing. He's practicing for the big times. Practicing those dance moves.
We're walking so slow over here, you don't even know.
So welcome to the show. Got quite a bit to talk about. Got some feedback, Raw, Total Divas, Hot Topics, Q&A. You know, the good stuff. How you guys doing? You hanging in there?
Doing good.
Doing a little bit better now. You watch kick-ass guys dance and all that?
Yeah, now I can do what they can do.
They got some mad skills.
Yeah.
And put me to shame, because I can't do any of that. I can do the part where they're walking to get ready to dance, but
I can walk slowly.
yeah, there you go. You got it.
Doug can too.
Yeah. I can just walk slow. So welcome to Doug, how you doing?
I can lean like that guy against the wall.
Yeah? Against the tree? Tree or wall or
Apparently
whatever.
not. I don't even have the right object to lean on. I can't do any of it.
So we're back. Good stuff. Glad to see the listeners came out in full force to hear our thoughts.
Welcome us back.
Yeah, welcome us back. It was good to see the numbers up. Really nice. We appreciate it.
You know who also is catching up on? John David Guerra is catching up on our episodes.
Yeah, he is. Thank you for listening, John. We certainly appreciate it. Hope the baby girl's doing well. Good stuff. So, you guys doing all right?
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Busy as hell.
Yeah?
I feel like I'm caught up on my sleep, but I was pretty tired because I was getting to work. I would wake up at 5 though, because I had to be at work at 6.
Nice.
But hey, man, make that OT. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Make that money, A-Bear.
Make that money.
You got a wedding to plan.
And something else.
And something else to buy. So, but yeah, like I said, we got quite a bit of listeners going around. The numbers that we keep, they reset on Sunday. Since Sunday alone, last week's episode has been listened to over 1,000 times. So really cool stuff. So thank you to everyone who's checking the show out.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
If you happen to be listening, feel free to leave some feedback, comments, stuff like that. Let us know where you're listening from. If you're outside the U.S., for sure.
We love the interaction from all our listeners.
If you're inside the U.S., let us know what state. That's really cool. We like hearing from you guys. So we do have some feedback. We're going to dive on.
So, like, the 20 people we know listen 50 times a piece, and we really appreciate it.
We
appreciate that. Thanks, Listen, keeping those stats up, making us feel good. Yeah, like I said, we do have some feedback from our YouTube channel, WNS Video. So if you're listening to us on, I know on iTunes and Stitcher, we had some issues, some technical difficulties this past week. Still not sure what that is. We're thinking it may be just something wrong with the server. Because obviously the audio that we put on YouTube is the same audio that we put on the website for Wrestling News Source. And that's what they take. That's what iTunes and Stitcher takes. But I guess for some reason it just cut it off about 53 minutes or so in. So for those of you who are listening on iTunes or Stitcher, if that event ever happens again, that's why we put it up on YouTube so you can check it out. I know it's not a hindrance if you're listening on your smartphone or something, because if the screen goes blank, then the sound cuts out and you have to keep it all out. But
yeah, thanks to Missy for bringing it to our attention.
Yes.
Apparently, she said it's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Over there. So I guess we'll try to figure out whatever the hell is going on.
Yeah, I know Ben has tried to contact Stitcher. to at least see what's going on. I know iTunes gives us an issue every once in a while as far as not putting the episode up. So like I said, if you're listening and you're experiencing some sort of problems and stuff like that, probably the best bet would first let us know about it so we can try and get it taken care of. Second would be to check out our YouTube channel, WNS Video. Have over 2,000 subscribers on there, so go and check that out. But yeah, we do have some feedback, like I said, on our YouTube channel from Mixer549 saying, awesome show, guys. So thank you very much for listening. We appreciate that.
Hey, thank you, Mixer.
Thanks.
Good stuff. So Parker says, I can't stand Lesnar as champ because I want a wrestler who actually shows up for events. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly are hurting in the star power department.
Definitely.
I think there is an argument to be made for the title feeling more special, and for Lesnar in particular feeling more special because he's not on air,
Right.
Every week or even most weeks.
It's going to make it must-see whenever he's there. And be like, oh, man, Lesnar's there when he's got the belt. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally fair argument, and I probably mostly even agree, but I do think it adds to Lesnar's specialness. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but
his aura.
You want to see the champ wrestle?
You got to pay
Get
for
the
it.
network.
Yep. So,
I mean, he's right. I mean, Lesnar isn't even going to be on this pay-per-view, and we all sort of talked about that. When they put the belt back on him.
Yeah. I read somewhere that they're possibly. I mean, this is just complete rumor, but that they might not have him back until Rumble.
See, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, that's too long.
Yeah.
But
It's like, and no one mentions the title or whatever. I'm like, where's the title?
the 30-day rule only applies whenever the plot calls for it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play that out. Maybe they'll have him come back for Survivor Series, which I think is next after Hell in a Cell.
Well, you want him at the big four at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they can get away with every other pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They're pressing their luck with that though, and if any more than that is really just really pushing to see how far you can get away with this shit.
And this really calls back to the discussion we've had numerous times in the past about there are too many pay-per-views during the year. Like if they went from 12 to say 8, it would make it a lot more, understandable. Like, oh, well, there's not going to be another pay-per-view for, another 6 weeks. So
I don't think they're willing to do that right now,
No.
simply because I think a lot of the selling point of the network is still you're getting these events, and without those events, I think your argument for is this like worth people's time and money is a lot harder to make.
Mhm.
They're not getting that.
I'm still wondering what their plans are for 2015 because they keep saying, "Oh, you're gonna get
Until
you're
the
getting
Rumble.
Survivor Series, you're getting Hell in a Cell, you're getting TLC, you're getting the Royal Rumble, and that's it."
Right.
Yeah,
I think they'll probably will change the model, especially if the numbers aren't where they want it. I mean,
hope
Now, get the WWE Network for
$15.99,
$15.99.
and you don't get the pay-per-views and
hey, look, I
there's
mean,
more
I don't,
content.
I don't think you can do that. I sort of expected going in it was going to be around $15 or whatever.
yeah,
And I don't even think I don't think for just me personally, that's not like a issue, like price point at $15 a month.
mm-hmm.
But there's sort of still the huge selling point is because not everything is at your fingertips anytime you want as far as the back catalog stuff. Still the major selling point is you're paying $15 a month for the pay-per-views.
yeah,
So, but they're sort of changing how they book these pay-per-views, or they sort of, and we sort of talked about that as the network happened too. Are they going to change? Are these pay-per-views going to feel more like a Raw, whatever? And we sort of saw that with the finish to the main event, between Lesnar and Cena. Like that's a fucking Raw finish. I don't know you can get away with that on pay-per-view. So
if someone's paying
Right.
$55 to watch it, you cannot have that happen.
you got to give a finish to the main event. You
Yeah.
know? So that's
Although they did that, what was it, a year or two ago with the whole Big Show knocking people out, like it was knocking out Cena, and then they also had the whole Orton and Daniel Bryan feud that Just
Yeah, but this is like a hyped main event. This is like they were really selling this shit hard, and they really needed to deliver on it because shit has been so sort of blah lately. But
yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know what their plans are. Maybe they're trying to strike a deal with pay-per-view carriers to where if you don't have the network, you can still order them at full price or whatever.
Well, in
but,
like places like Canada, it's not the same model. They have like a lot of their shit's on like cable or whatever.
Yeah, in the UK they have that
And
Sky Sports.
And then you have the back catalog on the demand or whatever. It's like two separate things, which is weird. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
it's gonna be weird. I have to wait and see what the word is on that.
Yeah, but that's is it Patrick? Is that a word?
Parker.
Parker. I'm sorry, Parker. Yeah, that's totally fair. And I don't really disagree with you, other than the fact that it does, I think, sort of make him feel special when he is there.
Yeah.
Which is not, you can't really say that for anyone else. So.
Yeah. Because if you have him go out there and wrestle every single night, he either has to be completely dominant or it's gonna grow stale really quickly. So it's like, how long can you really have him be the beast unless he's only there a couple times a year, But yeah, thank you for the feedback. Last bit of feedback we have is from Richard saying, keep calm and never give up. Cena is the man. Tyson Kidd is an a-hole. And Slater Gator deserves a tag title shot. Let's go Cena. Cena's awesome. So there you go.
Cool.
Yeah. So thank you for the feedback. But yeah, time to dive on into what happened on Raw. What did happen on Raw? I feel like they were...
I thought you were like, what happened on Raw, because I didn't see it.
No, I mean, I was talking to...
Speaking of what happened on Raw, what did happen on Raw?
Yeah, what did? No. I had the TV on. I had the volume down because I was getting ready to take that Advocare challenge that Tyler did. So I'm gonna give that a shot, and so I was talking to Daryl about it.
You fuckers! Why y'all want to be so pretty?
Hey man,
it's hard work being pretty. Like, be ugly like me. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more fun.
You're a pretty guy.
Go to McDonald's and
You're
order
a
a Happy
good-looking
Meal
guy.
because I'm happy.
You're a good-looking
So.
guy. Y'all
Hey.
both good-looking guys.
Hey,
I'm rocking the beard right now. I'm getting the longer
Jealous of
hair.
because of his beard.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
I'm growing
since
this
I've
out
shaved.
until I have to take pictures next month.
The neck beard.
what do you
Nick
got to
Pro.
take pictures for?
Save the dates plus the wedding or the
Engagement photo.
Engagement, yeah.
Save the date. Don't be late.
Am I gonna have to do this fucking Advocare shit because you guys are?
No.
I mean, I know not technically, but you guys are gonna make me feel like I need to.
No.
I know you're not technically gonna say like we think you should do this or you need
I
to
mean,
do
we're
this.
just
But are you
saying-
gonna guys feel like I should? I'm gonna have to feel like I have to if you guys are gonna do it.
Well, look, I'm not saying that you have to do anything. I'm just saying Tyler's sort of the trendsetter of the group.
He copied me.
He's Joe Cool. I feel the need to lose a couple pounds.
I do too, but I'm not gonna do any fucking thing about it.
It takes a lot of discipline, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't have that, so I'm not expecting it to go well, Doug. So don't worry.
And now because of it, I'm like conscious about all the
He's
shit I
uber
eat.
conscious now. He's all
horrible.
like salad and
Are making me feel like I'm gonna have to like go on a
No more
diet before
pizza.
we like get fitted for tuxes or something.
Um,
Fucking assholes.
I'm
with
not
the
doing it.
pictures we're taking, like, we decided to be a little fancy or whatever because we're having like 3 different outfits. Or it's one of them is a suit.
I saw the suit. He looks fly.
What?
Yeah,
I wanna see.
He looks
And-
sharp with the blue tie and everything.
Let me
Bow
see
tie.
this shit.
Blue bow tie.
And another one's just like jeans and a nice shirt. And the other one's gonna be a Marvel T-shirt.
Scarlet Spider?
That's Corbin.
Not him. The fucking Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, Scarlet Spider.
Looking so fly.
God damn, Tyler, that is looking fly.
Very dapper,
Yeah,
if you will.
You bought that?
yeah, and it was cheap at JCPenney's.
What?
Yeah,
There you
all
go.
that stuff. The
Plug.
jacket, the shirt,
This is
the
the plug.
pants,
This is the sell.
the bow tie. And we were over there, and I bought Daryl 2 shirts. It was all together. It was like $245.
That's just so you have a suit. That's not what you're wearing in the wedding.
No, that's not when I'm.
That's
Yeah,
fucking cool.
yeah, just to
Yeah.
have a suit too. And it's not like suits are different. That was a slim fit, for winning
I
like
know.
those.
I know, fucking slim cut. God,
But no. What I'm saying is,
I
what
can't fit in it, but I know what it fucking looks like.
No, what I'm trying to say is, and I did not know this, that slim or suits wise, it doesn't fit like regular slim fit other like regular pants. It's not like tight. It's it's slimmer, but it's not tight.
I can't do slim anymore.
I'm not trying to.
I haven't done
tight.
slim since I was like in elementary school.
I got
When I
slim
ran
since
all
I
the
ate a
time.
Slim Jim.
I played sports. And then I
Sports.
stopped and I gained weight.
Sports.
And then I got a desk job and I gained more weight. Oh. I just want to lose a little bit of this because I'm feeling unhappy about it. You know?
Well, I'm feeling happy about the way I look too, but I'm not gonna do any goddamn thing about it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, pretty bitches.
Oh. Well, I'm growing out the beard to try to be more manly than pretty.
Wear
Is it-
flannel.
Is it? No, I'm not wearing
Be a
flannel.
lumberjack.
No.
Chop down some trees.
Fuck y'all. I'm gonna have to get like a 6-pack or something to fit in around here with you fucking assholes.
Christopher Pratt can do it, so can we, right?
Yeah,
Well,
but
he's
he
a
was
personal trainer. He has money.
he was
That's
always
true,
a good looking dude. He was just like not a
He
6-pack.
was a husky guy.
All those people that like are celebrities that are big, they have money and they can get personal trainers usually.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
People can like cook for them. It's
Yeah.
like
Have
here, this is what you eat. Okay,
Personal chefs, trainers.
this is what you
doctors,
eat. This is
whatever.
when you eat it.
Yeah.
Someone did that for me. I'd be in good shape.
I think that's the hardest part. Like my schedule, I don't have a whole lot of free time. And they're always like, "Oh, well, 10 minutes in the gym." Well, yeah, but you also have to get your ass, go to the gym, come back. You know, I don't know. I don't want to try and make it sound like I'm making excuses, but I really feel like I just don't have time. So I need to, but
I walk like 12 miles a day,
yeah.
but then I eat 12 tacos when I get off, and then it's fucking
And you
over.
drink energy drinks and all
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's the.
I make up for 12
function
miles
to
a day. I eat 12 tacos. 12? I want a taco.
I just had tacos.
Yeah, Dairy Queen tacos, bestest. Tacos
I've never
in
had Dairy
town.
Queen tacos.
They're underrated.
They
They're
are.
underrated.
Really?
They're amazing. You
Better
should-
than the other
Yes.
taco place, Taco Bell and Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
Jack in the
really
Box
good.
looks disgusting, but they taste great.
that's true. But Dairy Queen tacos look great and they taste great.
I think Taco Bell tacos look great.
And that's that Dairy Queen taco coming up right there.
Except for Doritos Locos tacos.
Yeah.
Those suck.
Yeah.
Those are overrated.
Yes.
overrated.
They're not They don't suck. They're not nasty. It's just like
You
They
bite
don't
into it
go-
and you're like, oh.
they don't go as
Doritos
well.
doesn't go with all this stuff.
It doesn't go as well as you think it's gonna go. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's fine though. I can eat them. If I'm hungry, I can eat a fucking Doritos taco. No problem. If I'm
If
not,
they're out of regular shells and you're like, all right, give me a local
if
taco.
I'm not fucking hungry, I can still eat a fucking Doritos taco.
So yeah. So there you go.
It's not what I want.
Good stuff. So yeah, what happened on Raw? I feel like it was
Tacos.
no, not tacos.
That's what
It was a train wreck is what it was.
This
So
show,
The Rock came back.
this show is a train wreck.
This show is a train wreck because Raw was a train wreck. There was not enough good to talk about on Raw.
But The
gonna-
Rock came back.
You're gonna try and front on these listeners like they don't know this show would be a train wreck any other fucking time. Maybe
They
you
watch the show. They know what
they
happened.
listen to this show. They know that you're
yeah.
full of shit too.
No, anytime we get off topic, that's when the shows become gold. That's when we have the good
Well-
stuff.
Well, The Rock came back.
Yeah, The Rock came back. Oh, goody. For one night only.
They stick to the script.
Yeah.
The Rock came back.
The Rock
We're not
came
there
back. Okay, we'll get to that.
Damn it. The Rock didn't come back.
He didn't come back yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
But soon.
Maybe.
Maybe. So we kick things off with Seth Rollins coming out, talking about what happened the previous week. Saying that's what happens when you mess with me. Ha 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 ha.
Suck my dick.
No, he didn't say that. He did not, ask for oral sex. So, yeah. So Rollins comes out saying that's what happens when you mess with me. You get the curb stomp. And that prompts Cena to come out and try and rough him up a bit. So Rollins takes the low road, dives over the barricade, run through the crowd, and he's like, ha ha ha, I outsmarted you. Hey, did you see that, man? Did you see that, Ambrose? Man, I totally outsmarted him. Oh shit, that's Ambrose. And Ambrose fights him, and then he goes back, and yeah, good stuff.
I didn't see that part.
You didn't? Okay. Doug, what do you think about that?
It was fun. I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah. The Authority comes out and says, well, if y'all want to fight so much, we're going to have a 3-on-2 match. Best of luck to you. And that brings up the first matchup. We got to see a 3-on-3, Dolph Ziggler and the Usos going up against Cesaro and the Dusts, Gold and Star. That's weird.
That's that weird.
Just this picture that I received.
Oh.
You getting nudes over there?
Maybe.
Is that a nipple?
That looks like a nipple. The first matchup, I thought it was a good start. These guys know how to put on a good, exciting matchup. What do you think about it, Doug?
I thought it was solid, but I mean, I don't know. These dudes have been having matches for a while. They're getting sort of more formulaic as we go.
Yeah.
We saw like the Usos and the Wyatt sort of fell into a real formula heavy match. And, so it seems like that's what we're getting with these guys too.
Yeah.
So are they now doing the Ziggler Cesaro thing?
It looks like it, I guess. I don't know. They failed to establish a story when it comes to the minor titles, and they just say, okay, we're just gonna have Ziggler face Bo Dallas at main event for the title.
Well, they had a little bit of a storyline when it was Ziggler.
A
Miz,
little bit.
Miz.
But as soon as that was over, what do we have now? We don't know. I guess Cesaro's in the picture. I just don't know. But and it's one of those things where I read the articles on Wrestling News Source that people post about their thoughts on Monday Night Raw, and for the last I don't know how many number of months, it's the same repetitive story. The champs, whoever is the champion, they lose, on TV. I know it's to sort of sell their pay-per-view match where they get the win or something like that, but it's always like I feel like they're not making very many champions booked strongly. Like they never look strong. They're always losing. The Goldust and Stardust lost. AJ lost. Sheamus lost. It's like, what are they doing?
Well, AJ lost because she walked out.
Well, yeah,
but
and we'll talk about that later. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue against you. I mean, that's what's happening, and they don't seem to want to devote the. It can't be that they're not capable of it. It's not that they don't have the time. It's that they choose not to invest in building these guys in a way that doesn't require them to just beat the champs. They don't want to spend the time to build a challenger outside of someone who just gets a non-title victory over the champs.
yeah,
And it's pretty easily done. I mean, you don't need but to build one challenger for each belt, and you can do that without them fighting the champs. I mean,
there's just they have 3 hours every week to establish a story. Then you have 2 hours on SmackDown, and they don't do it. They would rather have who was it, Kathy Lee and this Hoda chick show up to do what?
Diddly squat.
Yeah.
well, I mean, like it's all good and well and fine and great that they're supporting this charity, but I don't even know what those ladies did accomplishes.
Yeah. When I was watching, I was just watching. I couldn't hear what they were talking about, but it looked absolutely stupid.
It was. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
They just came out with Adam Rose, and they sat there, had some drinks, and they're like, "Yo, you're gonna dance now."
And now you're gonna dance.
And it was.
And I'm gonna break this fake bottle on your butt. And now you break this fake bottle on my butt. And hey, let's dive. Whee! Okay, bye.
Where's Bunny?
With Bunny.
I don't know. I don't know why.
So Adam Rose is like the valet. You remember how the Bellas were when like it was like certain guys celebrities? So I guess if it's with the girls or whatever, Adam Rose is that now. So.
Adam Rose should just be the valet forever.
Yeah.
He's the unisex valet.
He is now what the Bella Twins were when they had the special guests for Raw back in the day.
Until he gets moved down and like, where's Adam Rose? I don't know, but Bunny's still here. All right.
Hey, the bunny. Yay.
Bunny has his own profile on
JBL, talk
WWE.com.
about him. JBL, talk about how much you hate the bunny, because that'll sell.
People bought into it though.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird though, man. Like it's hard to be critical of this because it's a charity thing, but I don't understand.
What exactly were they plugging?
I mean, they just came out and were like, "Hey, it's great that they're partnering with Sudas and G-Coma, and we do that stuff too." And then like, dance.
Now let's drink and break stuff.
Latte.
I don't know. If you're asking me to give you a reason why it happened, I don't know.
Yeah. And, I saw, like I said, I couldn't hear what was going on, but I saw Adam Rose do his stupid party time all the time thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it just looks so stupid. It's like he's hoping that the fans will go along with it. And it's just not working. And it's so stupid.
I mean, I think the only are you okay?
Yeah, I feel weird and I keep on coughing. Blech.
You need some water?
You can breathe. You made me think you weren't breathing.
Oh, sorry. No, I got water right here.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't stop coughing.
It's
I
raw
coughed for a
so
while.
bad it's killing A-Bear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what I was gonna say is I think the reason they were on the show is publicity for the WWE, so they can be like, "Yo, I was on Raw. Did you guys see Raw?"
Yeah. Did you see us? Did you see us? Hi. But anyways, that was a train wreck. But next up, we got to see Bo Dallas going up against Mark Henry again. Bo Dallas gets the victory via countout, and that apparently was enough to earn him an Intercontinental title shot against Dolph Ziggler for main event that happened tonight, and I didn't get to see.
Who won?
pretty
Probably
sure-
Dolph Ziggler.
Probably Dolph Ziggler, some form or fashion.
Well, at least this is acknowledge that they maybe not to your liking, but acknowledge that they built a challenger to a title without beating the champ, because we just talked about that. You have to.
They were like, and they stated why. They were like, he's beaten Mark Henry 3 times in a row now, so he gets an Intercontinental title shot.
I mean, that's great. I mean,
That's 3? I thought 2.
Well,
yeah.
one on Raw, one on SmackDown, one on Raw.
Do you believe now, Daniel?
I've always believed, but I'm sad that it happens to Mark Henry
I believe that someone's gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody's gonna get their wig split.
because that's what he does.
He's a crazy motherfucker, and he's coming through the door.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably seem to mean more if they weren't so careless with how they booked Henry.
Yeah.
But poor guy, he's fucking awesome. He just can't get any fucking booking breaks.
I think he just needs to snap, let that anger come
Well,
out.
that's what he sort of did.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Yep, he's gonna turn heel possibly in the near future. So after that, we got to see John Cena and Dean Ambrose have a segment where they're talking about wanting to get Rollins. Ambrose again is like, don't give me a reason to not like you. And Cena's talking about, hey, you got guts. I like that. You got more guts than a lot of people in the back. You'd be willing to face, the authority all by yourself. But the last time you did that, your head went through, some concrete blocks and you were out for 5 weeks.
I don't know why I did that.
You're just doing. Why are you fisting?
I don't know why. It just felt
This
like
has nothing to do with Roman
You
Reigns.
missed Roman Reigns?
Is that what it is? You missed Roman Reigns? Cocking?
I don't really know why I did it. It just felt like the right thing to do.
Because you were like, you did like fingers first, not
You know what, guys? Fisting.
Yeah. So
Fisticuffs.
that was
I
strange.
don't know anything about fisting, but you can't just go fist first. You gotta go fingers.
Yeah, it is.
You got to work your way up. So, anyways, so Ambrose. Yeah. So Ambrose decides, okay, well, if you're just gonna be like this, I'm gonna go down to Coney Island and get myself a hot dog. So, and that's exactly what he does. He
You
leaves,
can tell that they taped it earlier
Hops
because that
on
was
a-
super quick. And
hops on a Q train.
because he had his hair was all soaking wet. By the time he was up there, his hair was all dry and like blowing.
Maybe it was windy. You never know.
Unless the venue where they were, it's like you step out, and there's a Subway right there.
Could be. You never know. And I like how the people in the subway were just like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then they turn around and notice that a camera's like there, and they're like, "The hell is this?" So
He looked a little different. Like I really thought it was like a stunt double or something like that at first. When he was walking, it was
there
like
wasn't
hair-
Sandow. I can promise you that.
I was like, "Who's this guy? He looks like a little bit like oh, it is Ambrose." Okay.
Yeah.
I think they had someone waiting for him at the stop because the train took off.
It was fairly quick. They were probably waiting, and they were like, "Okay, here comes the train. Come on down, Ambrose."
How many times they film that? How many times they do that?
How long were they waiting at that subway for that train to come by?
Come on, Ambrose.
So
Look like you're looking at people and look around.
yeah, I was half expecting like the subway train to keep going, and he like grabs on at the end and hops on. You know.
If I was one of those people on a train, what I would be doing the whole time is like sitting like across from the window and just like look to the corner, look at the camera, look to the corner, look at the camera, just keep on looking back and forth, looking back and forth. I have like a weird look on my face.
That'd be weird. So Ambrose, the lunatic fringe, goes to get a hot dog. I don't like Cole saying that. Like, I get it. That's what they're trying to do with his gimmick, and you never know what he's gonna do and stuff. But like when he comes out and he's like, "It's the lunatic fringe," I'm like, that doesn't sound very lunatic-ish, you know? I don't know.
That guy's crazy.
That guy, don't watch out for that guy. He's nuts.
Reaching to the choir, man.
Yeah. So, so after that, Cena's shown walking backstage, and he's unhappy, and Triple H is like, "Hey, buddy, hey, never give up," and all that. No, by the way,
John Cena sporting a new shirt.
Yeah. Well, he's had that for a week or two.
Oh, I guess I didn't see him last week.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. A lot of people are having those types of shirts or new sayings like that.
Yep. So, but Triple H
Chive on.
informed him that his match would instead be a 3-on-1 instead of a 3-on-2 handicap match. So don't give up. So that takes us into the next matchup. This feud that will not die. Brie Bella in a one hand tied behind her back match against Summer Rae. Goes to show about
one hand tied behind her back so she can scratch
although it wasn't
her ass
even
match.
It wasn't even really a tie. It was more like a belt kind of thing with a loop. So I don't know. So maybe they had it specialty made or something.
This match made me think that Bird Law was in effect.
Bird Law was in effect on this one. Summer Rae ends up getting the loss. Brie Bella with the win. Nikki Bella seems so frustrated because why would she do this? And she's doing it to make me mad and whatever. Doug, what do you think about this?
I think you guys handled that beautifully.
Oh, yeah? All right.
I don't have anything to add.
Bird Law. Bird Law is not governed by reason. So yeah, next we got a backstage segment with Kane, and he's checking out a fruit basket, going, "The hell is this?" And then we get to see Miz and
Ashley Remington was backstage.
Who?
Ashley Remington was backstage.
I don't know who that is.
He's a Chikara guy.
Oh,
He
sorry.
gives people fruit baskets when he beats them.
Oh, nice.
Classy guy.
Yeah,
Finger
maybe he was the
gun.
one who delivered it.
Yeah.
So Miz and Mizdow are backstage and talking to Kane, and Kane is feeling offended by the presence of them and offended by the fruit basket, and if this is your way to apologize, it didn't work because
Taylor was too offended at first, but then he accepted it and he was real happy about it. So
yeah.
maybe if Kane just gives him a chance.
All
he can-
we are saying is give fruit a chance. So yeah, Kane didn't want the fruit basket and put Miz in a matchup with Sheamus.
Sandow
And
wanted it.
Sandow wanted, yeah, he was like, "Well, fine, if you don't want it, we're taking it back." Takes the fruit basket. So so good stuff there. Next up, we got to see Jack Swagger going up against Tyson Kidd and their
Natty's wife.
Natty's wife, Natty's husband, whatever. So they're playing off the turmoil that is going on apparently between Tyson Kidd and Natalya.
Unstable marriage.
Did you happen to see the shiner on Jack Swagger's eye? Man, did you, Doug?
No, I don't think so.
He had a black eye. So
I don't know how I missed that.
and it was funny because there have been times where they put makeup on to sell an
Right.
injury or something like that, and I told my girlfriend, I was like, "Oh, dude, Swagger's got a shiner," and she was like, "Is that fake or real?" I was like, "No, that one's real." I was like, "They don't come out non-story purposes,
Right.
just to have it." It was like,
You
no,
guys
they-
has Pete, Bo.
If it's fake, they would be talking about it. And shit.
yeah. Oh, you see the shiner? That's because
His girlfriend beat his ass.
Zeb Coulter slapped some independence into his eye. I don't know. So, yeah.
Jack Swagger's eyes seceding.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to make that. I don't know. Never mind. So Jack Swagger ends up defeating Tyson Kidd via submission. Tyson Kidd seemed upset by that. He was looking at Natalia all weird. I guess just something to play into A, Total Divas, and B, NXT. So, there
Three
you go.
things, yeah.
3 things?
The 3 things.
What's the third?
Raw, NXT, and Total Divas.
Raw, okay. Yeah, I guess so. So there you go. After that, we got an interview, in air quotes, by Michael Cole with Roman Reigns.
I'll be back soon.
Only one question in the interview. How are you doing? And
Yeah, that was weird.
yeah, it was, hey, Roman Reigns, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Well, I'm doing pretty good, Michael. The doctor said my recovery's going well. Didn't give me a timetable for return, but when I return, I'm gonna be
Kicking people's ass.
kicking people's asses, and you can believe that.
Fisting.
So yeah, that was pretty much it. So I would much rather be in Brooklyn.
You gotta
Stretching.
ease your way in
You
there,
gotta,
man.
yeah, you gotta
You don't
for a
just-
while, and then you're like, okay.
Unless you have like a loose butthole.
You gotta stop doing this. So next up, we got to see El Torito going up against Mini Gator. And at first, I was like, "All right, we're gonna get to see Slater Gator going up against."
I thought it was
Los
gonna be
Matadores.
trios.
or even that. That would have been fine too.
I thought it was gonna be trios teams.
But nay, to my dismay and displeasure, it was
Hey.
El Torito going up against
It's still
Mini
cool
Gator.
to see the Gator roll. What Gator did to, or Hornswoggle did to Heath Slater.
Was it Slater or Tyson? I don't remember.
It was definitely Slater.
It was Slater.
But yeah, fans were definitely not into that. It's the first time I've ever heard a "this is stupid" chant. But the fans definitely weren't into it. I personally wasn't into it. I don't know. How about you guys?
No, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I have a tolerance for certain spots on the card. I think, just personally, I think certain spots on the card you can get away with trying a little comedy. It was a success. They usually fail at comedy in general. The WWE does,
Yeah.
and I didn't think this was good. I think it's a mistake to focus on Torito and the Mini Gator, other than Slater Gator as a
They
team.
already had a feud anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean,
We all see too.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a mistake to focus on that instead of Slater Gator. I think you can still do comedy with focusing on Slater Gator 'cause they play off of each other pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great, but I didn't I mean, just personally, I didn't see the need to get up in arms about it. There are plenty. I mean, there's a big disconnect between what I appreciate as a wrestling fan and what a lot of people appreciate as a wrestling fan, and some stuff that doesn't bother me bothers other people, I guess, and some stuff that people think is awesome, I think is totally lame.
I don't like the
Yeah.
mix they've been doing with all them plus Adam Rose and the Bunny.
Right.
Like,
Too many mascots.
Adam Rose and Bunny, I know they're doing it because mascots, I know that. But just let, I guess, the Matadores versus, Slater Gator.
Right.
Let them do their thing.
I'm cool with them doing comedy. I just wish the matches were about Slater Gator being a dysfunctional team that's learning to get on the same page and become successful. That's the story. I think the story is these guys are, learning how to be a tag team while they're dysfunctional, and then once they get on the same page, they become successful, even though they're still sort of a bit dysfunctional.
Yeah.
That's the story. I don't think the story is Hornswoggle versus Torito.
I think that's the part that disappointed me the most. It's
Right.
you got a tag team. They're actually developing with each other.
Right.
They have good chemistry with one another. With the
Time to break them up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're going to end up doing. But it's why are we not trying to put focus on that instead? It's somewhere backstage, someone was like, it would be a good idea. Let's have these two do it. Let's have Torito and Hornswoggle face off, rather than developing Slater Gator further.
I'm even cool with Hornswoggle in the gator suit accompanying them to the ring.
Yeah.
I just think that it's the focus should be about them learning how to become a tag team. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Just don't like it. But
I mean, not learning, but like learning how to work well together.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it's just, come on, guys. You're supposed to be providing the best entertainment around. Like, as this,
They were trying in the segment. It was just written stupidly. Like they said, you're gonna do this, and it was a dumb thing to tell everyone involved to do. The guys in the thing were trying their best to make it good. It was hard to work with what they were given.
I mean, the only thing that was going through my head, like, I know that the WWE doesn't have any competition right now. You know, speaking logistically, aside from Monday Night Football, which is going to crush them no matter what. You know, as far as a wrestling product promotion, I'm sorry, TNA fans, it's not close. But, you know, I was thinking as I was watching this match, I was like, if they had put this on during the Monday Night Wars or something, like, they would have been crushed by WCW. Like, it doesn't really matter what they were doing. Like, they could have had Disco Inferno versus Glacier, and it probably would have had more viewers.
Well,
but,
I mean, that's why you're getting the caliber show you get, because
there is no competition.
They're totally complacent in like what they are at this point. They don't have to try to be any better.
But see, I think that's the biggest flaw that they're doing right now, is that they need to come out and say, what would really get these people talking, aside from, you know, blood and chair shots and you know, sex and language. Like, what product can we put out that would be really good? You know, let's tell interesting stories. Let's have great matches. You know, not saying going out and put everyone in 20-minute matches every single night, because that would be draining for the people.
Right.
But, you know, let's have good storytelling. You know, feuds that pay off, character development. You know, I think, like you said, they're complacent. They're just like, hey, let's just let's do this, see if it works.
That's like the two things you mentioned are I think what hurts their product the most is the feuds don't pay off, and there is no meaningful development. There are, say, your top 4 guys in the company, and then everyone else is in this big like glob that's all these guys are equal to each other, and no one's differentiated because everybody beats everybody.
Yep. It's 2 or 3 people vying for the heavyweight championship, and then everyone else.
You know, this may not make a difference, but I wonder how it would turn out if they had a wrestler for a writer. You know, someone who has wrestled, doesn't wrestle that much, but for WWE to help them out. You know?
Well, that's the thing. It's like NXT is run by people who are in the business, bookers, not writers. Their
stuff's good.
Yeah. Whereas on Raw and SmackDown, they have people who worked on soap operas, writing scripts, rather than, hey, here's where we're leading up to. Here's the big payoff. Like with soap operas, they have stuff that lasts years before anything ever happens. It's just filler, and that's the thing that drives me nuts. Because it's like they'll switch anything on at the drop of a hat, and you know, it's never referred to again. It's never brought up again. It's just
a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, change some of that up. Like you look at NXT, yeah, it's only 1 hour, so they can, you know, they have to do more with less or whatever. But still,
can't teach you that.
When they put on their special events, you know, like the NXT Takeover and Arrival and stuff like that, people are saying like, this is some of the best product that's out there. You know, I don't know. I mean, they put on exciting matches, and that's another thing why I think that they should dip down from like 12 pay-per-views to 8. Like, make them meaningful so that whenever they go out there, they give it 110%, and you see stuff and you're like, what?
Not gonna happen.
I mean, it's not, because they're all about money. You know, what's good for the company? Is this going to piss off the shareholders? And, you know, they're worried too much about that as opposed to what's a good product to put out.
What's best for business.
Sure.
Well, I really don't think it's a fair comparison between Raw and NXT because
It's not. But
I mean, NXT has all the pluses of Raw proper without any of the hangups of Raw proper. Like Vince doesn't lord. The reason so many people seem to like NXT so much is because the higher ups who are like at Raw constantly don't fucking pay attention to NXT like half as much as they sort of let them do their own thing.
yeah.
Plus, they have the budget of Raw with like if they so desire, they have the budget of Raw, and of course they're using it. How else do you get those sort of intros those guys have, right? Like your Tyler Breeze and all that shit. That's not a shoestring budget shit.
Yeah.
They've got all the pluses of Raw without people like up their ass telling them to change this at the last minute. They're only booking 1 hour a week. They're not booking fucking 8 hours of TV a week.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's fair to the Booker Writer comparison is a fair thing because everything that I hear from fans today leads me to believe they want writers, not pro wrestling bookers, because like you said, there is a difference between bookers and writers. And it's supposedly writers don't give finishes. Bookers give finishes, writers just like tell the story. They let the agents give the finishes.
Right.
From what I understand. I mean, I don't work there or know anyone who works there. It's just what I gather from what I hear. But when I hear people say they want fucking pro wrestling booking, to me, historically, pro wrestling booking is fucking, I want good guys and bad guys, and these good guys act like good guys, and these fucking bad guys act like bad guys. When people say we want these fucking nuanced carriers, these nuanced wrestlers, these nuanced characters, these like shades of gray. Now that to me says fucking current day TV writing. We want like a Breaking Bad character. You're asking for shit that TV writers do.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling bookers historically say these are dudes who wear the white hats, these dudes wear the black hats. Black hats assholes, white hats are good guys. They fucking clash, and that's historically what you want. So I feel like fans are sending mixed messages of what they want. When you say I want fucking pro wrestling booking, historically you're not getting these shades of gray characters that you think you're asking for. Now I'm not saying it can't be done that way. I'm not saying there's not a new twist to put on it, but I'm saying historically what you're asking for and what you're getting what you're saying you want. I think in a way, I don't think you're sending the right message of you're saying like this is what I want. You don't really know what you're asking for is what I think I'm saying. So I think it's a little bit unfair to say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but traditional pro wrestling is good guys and bad guys, and TV writers are this new like Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad. These are these shades of gray characters that people say they want. That's fucking TV writers, guys.
Yep. And we're also in an age where, you know, similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's good to be bad. You know, like a lot of people like the attitude, the you know, they want the anti-heroes rather than good guy, bad guy. They want bad guy who does, you know, cool stuff and it's good to be bad.
The anti-hero.
I mean, with the exception of Rusev, when Mark Henry's bad guy, people love it. When Big Show's bad guy, people love it. You know.
But Rusev because they're playing into their like patriotism. I'm not saying that pro wrestling bookers can't give you shades of gray characters. I'm not saying they never have. I'm saying traditionally, generally, they give you good guys versus bad guys.
Right.
And when you say I want pro wrestling booking, I think you're not asking for the shades of gray that you think you're asking for.
Yeah.
Is my opinion. I may be wrong, and I'm not saying you can't twist the formula and do it a new way. I'm just saying, like historically, I don't think it's fair to say that.
Well, like the thing is, it just popped in my head as you know, as we're having this conversation. When we get to a pay-per-view and they have the highlight package before it, the promo, you know, they tell the story leading up to the matchup, right? So it takes hours to get the right edit and the right sound effects and filters and everything like that. So they have, you know, these guys have to do a lot of work to make some of the stories look important. You know, I'd like to see it where they don't have to try where these guys don't have to work as hard. Make it to where the story tells itself, and it's just like, hey, here's a 30-second recap of what's really going on, like why these guys hate each other, why these guys are fighting so much, rather than he won a match and so now he gets a championship title, and it's filler.
Yeah,
you know, I want good wrestling, which I'm totally fine with a 5-minute matchup on television. I have no problem with that, as long as it's not wasting my time. As long as I don't feel like it's something that's filler, which a lot of the matches can be. You know, some of them just are. That's just how it is. Payoffs. You know, I want to see the bad guy get his in the end. I want there to be a feeling of going, yeah, finally it happened, you know? And it's just like, you know, going back to the Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton feud that lasted however many months. When Daniel Bryan won at WrestleMania, that was the big payoff. But in my mind, it wasn't like, yeah. Like, in my mind, it should have been Orton tapping out, not Batista. Like, I know they want to try and set up the feud for later. Oh, I lost the title and I didn't even tap out or anything. But, you know, you want to make the person who has tortured you for this long to be the one that you get the one up on, as opposed to Batista, who was thrown into the match and, you know, because that was their original plan and the fans took over for that. But, like, the big payoff for me would have been either Daniel Bryan pinning Randy Orton middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, or making him tap out. But, you know, we got what we got. I was totally happy with seeing Daniel Bryan's hand raised in victory at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, and I went back and listened to a couple episodes of the podcast to try and get something together for our 200th episode. And I listened to how we were talking about the Undertaker Lesnar feud leading up to WrestleMania. And the reason why it's so shocking and why people, I feel, were so up in arms about it is because they didn't do anything to lead up to that match. They had a contract signing, and Lesnar gave an F5 to Undertaker. Like, signing, whatever. For the most part, that was it.
Taker did stab Playman and him with a pin, which was pretty rad.
Yeah. But, like, other than that, like, it wasn't the big payoff that I feel like something like that deserved.
Well, I remember talking about that too, and I think part of our problem was we were critiquing the angle leading up with the anticipation that Taker was going to win. We're like, why is Taker shutting him down all these weeks just so he can go and win at Mania? Where's the tension in that?
Yeah.
The whole time, maybe it was not a last minute call because if you look at the weeks up to it, Taker bested him like every week. And you're like, that's not how you build a fucking feud. Like,
exactly.
Create doubt, you know, like, and then the shock was but we were critiquing it based on an assumed outcome.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were like, Taker is of course winning. So why is he handling him his ass all these weeks up to Mania?
I don't know. I feel like they have one focus right now, and that is the Cena, Ambrose, Rollins triangle. That is their main focus, and everything else is hearsay. They're like, oh, we'll throw that together, you know, leading up to Hell in a Cell. And that bothers me. Why can they not focus on multiple things? Why can't they have, okay, we're going to have these 3 writers for the main event title or whatever storyline that is. We're going to have 2 or 3 guys for this one. We're going to have 2 or 3 guys for this story, you know.
Well, I feel like Rusev is booked strongly, booked consistently, and has received attention. So I feel like that's another guy who's on the right track. Like, however you feel about the angle, however you feel about Rusev, he is booked strongly and he's booked consistently. I feel like the AJ fucking Page stuff they've stuck with. I mean, I'm not a fan of how they're booking it, but I feel like that's gotten attention.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's I mean, I get what you're saying. It's,
like, even
there's so many fucking guys that it feels like if they only pick a couple of spots that they don't do anything with most of their roster because their roster's fucking huge.
Yeah. But I mean, like, even with the whole Bella segments or whatever that they're doing now, you know, the only progression in the story that they're having is, oh, well, now Brie has to have a match with her hand tied behind her back like Nikki did. That's it. That's the only progression that they're doing with it.
That's because their premise is weak to begin with. They're like trying to build on a shitty foundation.
Right. But like, I would like to see more establishment. Like, have the first hour focused on tag title and minor, you know, like Intercontinental. Second hour, U.S. title and up and coming guys. Or, you know, third hour, that's where the focus is for the main title.
Have we ever had this before? It's like, 'cause it seems like, I know we always talk about, like, you know, after this feud's, you know, done, who's this person going to fight or whatever. But, like, to me, it's always felt like we've had at least 2 things going when it it's come to main event guys and stuff like that. At least 2 main things. Like, okay, we have this guy's match with this guy's too, but now it seems like it's just one thing. Or have we had that before? Or it's just focused? Because I know what's his face is out of the picture, Roman Reigns, but I don't know.
Well, in recent history, we've had 2 titles, so there's been like 2 main events, quote unquote.
That's true.
They didn't treat them as equals, but they were quote unquote 2 main event.
Right. But, go back, and I hate to, make the comparison because everyone's going to side on the Attitude Era, but go back to when, before the ECW and WCW invasion and all that, you still had a lot of star power. You had Stone Cold, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker. That's just 5 off the top of my head, that could have been trying to build towards the title match. Then they were in DX, the Ministry, the Corporation. I'm not saying let's rehash all of these, but everyone had something else to do while someone was vying for the title. And I feel like that's the biggest problem right now. There's, everyone is just like a 2 or 3 week, rehash feud or, something like that.
Because no one's booked consistently enough to where you have guys that you feel about the way you feel about those guys. Yeah. I mean, I stumbled over my words and I maybe didn't make my point, but none of the guys they have now, with the exception of maybe Daniel Bryan, with the exception of Punk, who's gone now, Bryan's out as well, with the exception of those guys, and they haven't booked anyone else consistently enough to where you can put them to a point where you're like, okay, this guy's made regardless of what they're doing with him now. Like, he's achieved a status that he's not going to come back down from.
Right.
You don't have those guys right now.
And that's the biggest problem. Like, they need to have, okay, what happens if Cena goes out with an injury? What happens if Orton goes out with an injury? Well, we've got Daniel Bryan, we've got Bray Wyatt, we've got Roman Reigns. Okay, what if those guys go out with an injury? Well, we've got such and such, such and such, such and such. I feel like, they don't have backup plans for their backup plans, It's just,
Well, I don't even think you need backup plans for your backup plans. Right. They just don't have backup plans at all.
Yeah.
And then once something happens, they like rush to do something out of nowhere with a guy who wasn't getting the level of treatment that he's now getting. So it feels disjointed. It feels awkward. It feels like a rush job because that's what it is.
It's like they bring someone in, all right, we got this great plan for you. And it's like, well, that didn't really work out. So best of luck, kid. And it's like, no, come on, establish this guy. Do something with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, some of these guys just aren't going to make it because not every guy makes it. Not everybody on the roster is going to be like a guy. Even if I'm sure everybody on the roster is someone's favorite wrestler, regardless of how stupid you think they are. But not every one of those guys is going to be like a main eventer or like or an ace of a company. But when they don't do a good job with like the momentum that guys get. They don't do a good job of follow through. They don't do a good job of like booking guys consistently. They have this parity booking system where everybody has to beat everybody, and so it doesn't matter when you beat someone because everyone else has already beat that guy.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly know how you fix that at this point in the problem, because you can't go back to squash matches because the crowd will reject that. You can't do 3 hours of squash. You can't do 2 hours of squash matches. You just can't, because the fans of this day demand a certain caliber
have
match
that on
TV.
Main Event or something. For
even then, I feel like people would reject them. I mean, the people that are watching, but because those are the shows where they give guys who aren't given any shine on like the big shows.
Curtis Axel and Kofi Kingston.
Those guys get 20-minute matches on those shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I don't think there's an easy fix. I think it's like a rehaul of the way you do things, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Like Chikara, just hit that reset button.
No reset buttons with Chikara, man. They fucking all that continuity's still there. They're right back where they left off. Chikara took a break. They didn't hit the reset button.
Mm-hmm. They let everyone recharge their batteries.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's just too much content and they don't know what to do with.
Well, I think that's a fair point. I think for your average fan, that is too much content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will sit and watch a bunch of shitty wrestling for a bunch of hours. That's just because I'm built that way. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I'm wired. I don't know. But your average fan, it's too much. They don't care that much, or they can't sit through that much, or they have other things they'd rather do. Or
Would you guys rather Raw stay at 3 hours or go back to 2?
I mean, 2 for sure. But it's not. But it's just because I can feel like they can. Like, I will sit through 3 hours, but I feel like they could streamline it. I don't know if they would, but they could like streamline it. And
Yeah. I just don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
But
But you're not like, you're not going to get a reduction in content at this point. Like, they have a network. They have, like, if anything else, they're in the business of creating more content. I don't think we're going to see a day anytime soon where they're going to take a step back and reduce their content.
yeah,
They want content now.
they do, and I think it's going to hurt them because their focus isn't solely on their own product. Their focus is on, okay, how can we be trending? How can we be talked about? Who can we bring in that's going to give us some star power? How is our next movie doing? How's the Total Divas show doing? It's just that I feel like their attention is going so many different directions, whereas it needs to be they need to try and focus on their current product as opposed to other product. Like the WWE films puts out mediocre films every time. I don't want to bash on Total Divas, but I would feel like that could probably be better. Raw could be better, SmackDown could be better, Superstars main event and all that, but I don't know. I feel like they're going in too many different directions when they need to be focusing on what
Add
made
more.
them.
We need more stuff like more Legends House.
Well, they need to focus on what made them that big in order to make it better.
Yeah, but that's a regime thing, and I don't think you should hold your breath to see those type of changes as long as Vince is alive and in charge of this company. Maybe when Trips takes the reins full on himself when Vince is gone, which probably means Vince is dead, because I don't see him giving it up. And not to be morbid, but I don't see him giving it up as long as he's alive.
Yeah, he'll probably have to be medically brought out of the arena,
I mean, you hear about wrestlers who die in the ring, or wrestlers who say they want to die in the ring. I'm sure Vince will die in fucking
gorilla.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, but I mean, like, I don't holding your breath just to change. This is Vince wants like what you're getting, or you wouldn't be doing it. So
he has the final word. But anyway, so yeah.
Sure. I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole. We sort of spiraled down. Like,
hey, like I said, when there's not a whole lot to talk about on Raw, we have some pretty good debates and chit chats like this. I like that. So sets us apart. So next up, going back to Raw, we saw Rusev and Lana come out to discuss what had happened the previous week with Big Show.
That's the part how those are the guys who can't stay on topic. That's how we make our.
No, we have good debates and good chit chat.
Oh, that's
they can chime in. We do what other podcasts won't. We actually have good talks. So Rusev comes out with Lana talking about what happened with Big Show, and WWE had to issue an apology, and Russia's great, but that brought out The Rock, who happened to be in town. He came out, crowd went nuts. I don't know how your guys' reactions were, but I didn't really pop as big as I felt like I should have.
Well, I wasn't entirely surprised, or I wasn't entirely caught off guard, because I read that he was in this in Brooklyn, on the internet earlier in the day, and which doesn't always mean something, because that happens 100 times and you never see those guys. So, but it wasn't just a fresh, it was somewhere subconsciously in the back of my mind, I guess, that he could be there. So
then once you heard the music hit, you're like, there you go. Yeah, they were right. I don't know. How about you, Tyler? How did you feel when
I
the
popped
Rock's music?
a little bit.
Yeah. So The Rock comes out, fans are going nuts.
I mean, I don't want to downplay it. I was oh, I don't give a fuck. I was obviously like my interest was piqued because I didn't know what they were going to do with it, and obviously The Rock's not there very often, so it's not like I was like, who gives a fuck? But like
it's The Rock.
yeah, but I was just like, it wasn't like, I guess like reading it earlier sort of took the edge off. Like I sort of not expected it, but knew that it was a possibility or whatever.
Right. So that when you heard the music, you're like, oh,
Okay, yeah.
oh yeah, there you go. So,
Certainly a surprise that he came out for this.
yeah. So he came out to address, Rusev and Lana, giving Lana some compliments, saying, "Hey, up close, you look really good. It's just too bad that you."
Before we get into this shit, and because you're talking about Lana and The Rock, how she looked so fucking giddy that she was in the ring with The Rock. She almost lost herself like 3 times. They had to cut away from her because she was so like smiley and so like you could tell she was just like, I'm in the ring with her.
He's talking to me.
Right. She almost lost her shit like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
But yeah, he was, telling her, "Man, you look good," and I think a lot of people will agree to that. Then he did his Rock mannerisms, basically talking about Rusev pulling his pants up to his nipples and how she looks like a lady of the night, and you look very beautiful. It's just a shame that you hide what drink was it? I forget. It was like you put some kind of drink, Smirnoff, tucked up your ass or something like that.
Up your Putin.
So so he came out, did his shtick basically, and then Rusev gave a threat to him, get out of the ring, and more shtick from The Rock. And he delivers the first blow and goes on the offensive of Rusev and takes him out, knocks him out of the ring. So overall thoughts, what do you think about it?
Well, I don't think you can like talk about this without addressing like the fact that there is a huge disparity between the level that The Rock is over anytime he's on the show and anybody else on the show. Like you can't ever take that away from the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, he's not on TV as much as these other guys.
Right.
But you can't. You have to acknowledge the disparity between how fucking amped the crowd is when he's there and anybody else on the card at any other time.
Unless Daniel Bryan walked through those curtains, you would not get a similar reaction.
Shit, maybe even then, still, who knows? Now,
well, I mean, just the way that the fans were chanting yes during Brie Bella.
Sure.
So.
Sure, but you can't not acknowledge like
the excitement.
I'm pretty critical of The Rock, and I will continue to be as long as I feel like I should be. But you can't ever take that away from the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Regardless that he has much like Lesnar, he has a leg up on these guys because he's not around all the time, so he feels special when he's there.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't expecting him, but still, even then, even if they knew, he's still crazy fucking over.
Yeah.
You can't take it away from the guy. And
he knows how to ham up the crowd. And that's
I mean, it was all cheap heat. Like, he had no real reason to be there. It was all cheap heat.
Because you're all chanting, Derek Jeter. Like, we're in Detroit. Why would we chant that?
I mean, it was all cheap heat. It was New York. New York is like, name the 5 boroughs, Derek Jeter, Jay-Z, Beastie Boys reference, and then I'm throwing hands with you. That's...
I mean... He's one shot away from Mick Foley doing the right here in Brooklyn, New York.
I mean, he fucking did. I mean, he did it his own way, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was no real reason for him to be there. So however crazy he got the crowd was all off of cheap heat. Is all off of, like, he knows how to make people fucking get excited that he's there. You can't take it away from the guy.
Right.
And I know why they did what they did. I just don't understand. I mean, I know what they were doing. I just don't understand why they did it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it accomplished.
I just happened to be in the area. I've seen what you want.
Well, I mean, not from a
kid.
kayfabe standpoint. I mean, from a business standpoint. I mean, like, I understand that it was halftime of the NFL and that's why he was there. But I don't understand what it does for them business-wise to pop their rating only on the halftime show of the NFL. What does that mean to people who are trying to buy ad time? I don't know. Like, hey, as long as those guys aren't on, then, like, why wouldn't they just go buy ads with the NFL? Why would they wait to buy ads, like, for halftime of the NFL here? Like, just go buy ads. If they're going to spend that much money, it's probably a negligible difference between buying ad time there and buying ad time for the NFL. So I don't know why. And furthermore, I don't know why it was with Rusev. Not that I mind Rock working with, like, a lesser dude or, like, giving a guy a rub, but he didn't give him a fucking rub.
Yeah.
He made fun of him for 10 minutes and then whooped his ass. Rusev didn't even flex on the dude. He didn't even act like he was gonna fucking do anything.
I will crush you.
Right. I mean, Rusev didn't do one thing but get hit.
Yeah.
And he's like your strongest, most consistent, most well-built guy, and Rock was like fucking just jumped him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. Where do you draw the line? Like, Rock's a legend, sure. Rock is a guy who deserves X amount of clout, but where do you draw the line and say Rock's 40 years old, like, he just doesn't chump everybody anymore?
Was it me, or did he just look really tired?
He looked fucking tired. I mean, I'm sure he's running his ass ragged. He's all over. He's doing all these fucking movies. I take nothing away from the guy. I'm sure he has a fucking tremendous work ethic. I'm sure he's fucking busting his ass all day, every day. And I'm not mad at him if he's going to come fucking make some money. Come make some fucking money. Good on you, bro. But I don't understand, like, WWE's side. I don't know why.
We're going to have him come in and basically bitch slap our highest pushed heel right now.
Right.
With the exception of Lesnar.
Right.
Yeah, that'll make sense.
I mean, like, Rusev didn't do shit. Like, he got punched.
Yeah.
Rock made fun of him for 15 minutes, then he shit canned him, and that was it. Which is fine. Like, I understand you don't bring the Rock in to get chumped out.
Right.
But where do you draw the line? When do we finally say, like, the Rock doesn't just automatically bitch everyone out when he's in there? I guess the argument to that is when he stops being that fucking over.
Yeah.
But still, what does it do for the other guy? I don't.
Or how much more would it do for Rusev if Rusev would have gotten the offense on the Rock?
Rusev could have stood his fucking ground with him for a little bit. Like, they go back and forth and then Rock shit cans him. Fine.
Right.
But Rusev just stood there with his dick in his hand getting made fun of.
Spit punch, go over the top rope.
Rusev stood there with his dick in his hand getting made fun of. He got his girl hit on in front of him, and then Rock shit cans him. And he's your best built heel, most consistently booked. I mean, I don't know. I get, like, you don't bring the Rock in to look like a dick, and he would never agree. I mean, like a chump, and he would never agree to that anyway. But, like, where do we finally say, like,
no.
When do we finally say, like, Rock, you got to make the other guy look good too? God damn. It's great that The Rock is over, but The Rock's only here every fucking 6 months.
He's got to piss off Vince McMahon or something like that.
I don't know. Like, I'm not even mad about it. Like, I know what they're doing. I just don't understand what they get out of what they're doing and why they would go through with it.
How does that help the current product?
Sure, it was, like, unexpected and, like, fun for The Rock to come out, but, like, I don't know what it does in the bigger picture other than them saying, like, yeah, X amount of people tuned over to our channel during the halftime. I don't even understand why that's important anyway.
All 10,000 of them. And then they switched back over once the segment was over and football went back to its normal.
if you can't really compete with NFL, then, like, don't try the little cheap scams of getting over them. Just, like, try to make the show the best you can. And, like, some people will tune over, some people won't. And, like, the people you do have will feel better about the product and spread the word in the meantime. Yeah. I don't know.
And that's why I keep saying if they focus more on their product now, then they won't have to worry about when NFL is at halftime because they'll have that audience. And then when something more spectacular happens, they'll be like, dude, it's just.
I mean, maybe this is a great business move. I don't know. I'm completely talking out of my ass when it comes to the business. It just doesn't make sense to me, but that could totally be because I'm ignorant of the business stuff.
It's just
it's way out of my pay league and way out of my weight class. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just don't. also, just from the product standpoint, I don't see what it does either.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I read a lot of comments where they're like, "I'll DVR Raw. I'll just fast forward through everything because there's nothing worth watching. That's why I watch the NFL. That's why I watch Monday Night Football." It's like, give them a reason to be like, I'm not really following these two teams. I think I'll watch Raw instead. Like, they're putting on a good product.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they need to be doing. Not going, okay, NFL's at halftime, throw the Rock out there.
I mean, I'm part of the problem because I'm not going to not watch. Like, I don't care about football. Like, I'm going to watch Torito and Hornswoggle matches till the cows come home before I ever flip over to Monday Night Football. Because I just don't give a fuck. But even then, I don't understand, like, how what they did helps them in any way.
Yeah.
Other than people say, "Hey, did you know The Rock was on Raw last night?"
Yeah.
After you missed it, or
since you didn't switch over at halftime,
right? And then
like everyone else,
he's not going to be here until whenever he comes back. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's tough, right?
Mhm.
Because it definitely broke the monotony of the show, but it's
Yeah.
hard to see like what positives it. I don't know.
What do you think, Tyler? What do you think of The Rock being there?
For me, I felt like it didn't really help Rusev at all.
Yeah.
It was just there, like, hey, Rock's here, and let's see what's gonna happen. We not put him against Rusev, but kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I did pop, but I was like, yeah, it's really not doing nothing for me.
And the problem that I have with this is because, or the problem that I have with it now is that, The Rock got the one up on Rusev.
Yeah.
For weeks, they've been booking Rusev very strongly. If someone gets the one up on him, he takes them out. He can't do that now. Rock came in, did his business, and now he's gone. We don't know when we're going to see him again. Rusev's never going to be able to touch him. So what's he going to do? It's like, oh, you just got punked.
Yeah.
He needs. That's why I think, maybe he should have been on the offensive a little bit, or even taking out The Rock, so that people would have been like, "Oh my God, did you see what happened to The Rock? He came back on Raw, and this big guy just like demolished him." Like that would have built up Rusev better. It would have made it more important. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so yeah. But after that, we got to see Paige team up with Alicia Fox to go up against AJ and Emma. Emma was pretty much doing all the offensive while doing her dance, and AJ didn't seem to like that any. Basically trying to tell her, "Hey, go for the cover. What are you doing? Why are you not going for the cover? Why are you dancing? Screw this. I'm out." So AJ bailed on Emma. Total face thing to do. Total champion thing to do.
Not what I like to see out of my baby faces.
Yeah.
That's all the rage with the kids these days. So I don't know.
One of the comments that I saw was pretty funny. It was like, I'm paraphrasing it. It was like, oh, the person who does all the skipping doesn't like it when someone's dancing. So it's like,
Fair enough.
Where's the direction for that? But Paige and Alicia Fox end up getting the victory after Emma was left all alone. No dancing time for Emma after that. So, but after that, we got to see a video package for Eric Rowan. I know last week we got to see one for Luke Harper, and at the beginning of Raw, we got to see one for Luke Harper as well. But now they're doing one for Eric Rowan as well.
These are pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
They seem to me to make more sense right off the bat. I feel like they're like, it's more basic. It's more why it's saying, hey, this is why these guys are with me, and this is what I'm doing for these guys.
Yeah.
These guys don't have whatever, and this is what I'm giving them. That's why they come. That's why they roll with me. And we're coming. Look at the fuck out.
Yeah.
And they're good, creepy videos. I mean, they're the good, creepy shit that everyone liked about the Wyatts in the first place.
Yeah.
But minus all the fucking back talk that doesn't make any fucking sense, and more of a, hey, this is why this guy does what he does, and you better look out.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm cool with that.
And there's speculation that, these video packages are Bray Wyatt saying, I'm releasing them on you. Like everything I've taught them, I am unleashing them to go and be destructive as they want. So it looks like, we'll either see them team up for a little bit longer, or maybe we'll see, Harper do the singles run, Rowan do the singles run, because there's rumor going around that they're going to be bringing in more, quote, members. And I think they said Ascension might be joining Bray Wyatt. Like that would be their way to come in to the main roster.
I think you can do that and then just have Harper and Rowan as singles guys.
Yeah.
I feel like they can't, or not that they can. I feel like it would be hard for them to continue with the same gimmick if they weren't with Wyatt.
Right.
Unless they're just gonna like wean people off of it and slowly change them into just regular wrestler dudes or whatever. Put them in tights, cut their fucking beards or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. Their look is sort of like a good portion of why they're so appealing too. So I don't know. That makes sense to me, and I can see them doing it. I'd rather him just like, have them as singles guys, but be affiliated still. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But rather, as opposed to, similar to Dean Ambrose, whenever he broke away from the Shield, he went to jeans and a wife beater. Like, stay how you are, still be affiliated.
Bad example, because Ambrose and Reigns act like they didn't fucking know each other.
Yeah.
Say they have a common enemy, they act like they didn't fucking know each other when they broke up.
Right. Don't do that to Harper and Rowan.
Right.
Have them still be affiliated with Bray Wyatt.
Right.
Like he's still the guy. He gives occasional orders, but we're on our own. We're here to do what we want when we want, in the name of Bray Wyatt.
Sure. That works for me.
And then you can bring the new guys in as Bray Wyatt, explores their minds and helps them see the light or whatever it is that they're gonna do. I kind of like having Bray Wyatt be sort of the manager type, but he's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Right.
Like, I'm okay with them having Bray Wyatt on a limited wrestling schedule, but more of the voice for these guys.
I'm cool with that.
So, but I don't know. We'll have to see, because I know a lot of people are upset. They're like, they're breaking up the Wyatt family. It's all over. And wait,
I think if they're breaking them up, you don't get these style vignettes.
Right.
Like if they're breaking it up and they're not gonna be affiliated, like they would just I think they would just take them off TV and then come back as something else after you've forgotten, or they've been off long enough for you to stop giving a fuck that they were the Wyatts in the first place.
Right. I think they're still going to be their Wyatt family character.
Right.
But they're just sort of doing their own thing.
Singles run instead of tag guys.
Right. So we'll have to see. So yeah, we'll have to see how that all plays out. So after that, we got to see The Miz go up against Sheamus. Focus from the crowd was not on the match. It was on Damien Mizdow for his interpretation of what Miz was doing in the ring. Every time Miz would throw a kick, Sandow would throw a kick.
Even the commentators were...
Yeah, the commentators were bringing attention to it. Even whenever Miz went for a pin, Damien Mizdow dropped down on the ground, and the crowd was definitely loving that. So he definitely stole the show. What do you guys think about this moment, this matchup?
I mean, I focused on him more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Just to see how what all he was doing, and he got involved in the matchup a little bit, and the crowd ate it up. So I think doing the stunt double Mizdow thing, I think that's probably the best thing that has happened for him in quite a long time, and the crowd is starting to appreciate his work in it. So I don't know. How about you, Doug? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a good spot for him. I've sort of said that for a while now, that I feel like it's like an interesting way to use them. And
this is some of that rare comedy that works that you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not overly manufactured. They're sort of just being like, hey, you're Mrs. Stunt Double. Like, go do whatever the fuck you think that means. And he sort of like does what he thinks works,
Yeah.
And as he gets good reactions, he'll probably like tailor it to how people are responding, If it doesn't feel like they said, hey, mimic the Miz, everything he does, it feels like they said, hey, you're a stunt double. Go do whatever you think that means. And he sort of
ran with it.
Yeah, he sort of interpreted how he wanted to do it, and people react to that. So.
And
because you can tell when they're like, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And like, it sort of fails more often that way.
Yeah. And kind of what we were talking about last week, where, it was like, oh, wait, let's have Sandow, take the finishing maneuver and stuff like that.
They did that, but without him being directly in the match.
Right, which I like, and that prompted Miz to get the victory over Sheamus. So, good use of him there. So I enjoyed that at least. So Miz ends up getting the victory. Not a lot to take away from the matchup, but like I said, Mizdow was definitely the star of that moment. After that, we got to see Joan London come out and talk about her fight with cancer. They acknowledged the cancer survivors in the audience as well. And this is a good way to talk about what they're doing and why, as opposed to having Kathy Lee and all them break bottles on their butts and dance.
Right. Excuse the ignorance, but who is she? What did she do?
I'm not completely familiar.
She's like a TV personality.
Yeah,
or something?
she was on TV either as a news journalist or maybe a soap opera star or something. I'm not.
I guess I could have Googled it. I don't know.
Right, I'm not entirely familiar with her work, so I couldn't completely tell you. But she's obviously a known name, and I'm glad that they were able to do this type of work, where they had someone who's struggled with it, who's been in the spotlight of Hollywood or whatever. So I would much rather see this than what we saw with Adam Rose and Kathy Lee and that other chick.
Yeah, I mean, this is like this is sort of when they put their classy hat on. And
Yeah. So good stuff. But
yeah, she's a journalist, author, and television host.
there you go. So
Sorry, I just didn't know. No
you're
offense.
you just got learned.
I did.
So that brings us into the main event of the evening. John Cena going up against Seth Rollins, Kane, and Randy Orton. 3-on-1 handicap matchup. Short matchup as expected, especially since the match started 2 minutes before the top of the hour. Ends in a disqualification after Kane breaks up a pin, which is an odd way to end it. But match ends in disqualification, which he knew this wasn't going to have a clean ending due to time, and they're not going to pin Cena clean. After that, Dean Ambrose's music hits. He brings out a hot dog cart, which was slightly unusual, but it plays into the lunatic that he is. You don't know what he's going to do. Brings a hot dog cart out. Kane and Orton, rather than beating up Cena, they decide to just stare at Ambrose as he opens the umbrella, pushes it down, and he stands there like he's in a Western, acting like he's got guns on his side, but it's actually ketchup and mustard. And he sprays down Kane and Orton, and they're all, no, not condiments, and slipping, sliding around and falling over, and then Ambrose grabs the tongs and grabs Rollins right in the chutzpah. So,
the ball sack.
Please
say ball sack.
And his hot dog wiener, right in the balls, right in the testicles. So yeah, what did you think about A, the match, B, the fallout?
I mean, the match was nothing. I mean,
yeah,
it's what you knew you were gonna get, and B, you already knew I hated this. You didn't even have to ask me. You didn't even have to ask me. Like,
I wanted it on record.
Like, Dean Ambrose's new gimmick of, I'm more interested in spilling gross stuff on people than wrestling in matches is
Last week was green. This week it's yellow and red. Next week it'll be something blue.
No thanks. I'm not interested in Ambrose spiller of gross things on people. I don't care. That's not for me.
After I'd be white.
No, thank you. And I'm sure some asshole on the internet somewhere is gonna say, "Hey guys, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's getting the Austin push. Stone Cold Steve Austin dumped beer on people all the time."
Yeah.
And I just want to
Kurt Angle did milk on someone.
Yeah, and I just want to say right now, fuck you, don't be that guy. Beer is sort of integral to what Stone Cold was as a person and a character. It's sort of is part of who he is. At least I sure fucking hope that condiments and hot dog toppings are not integral to Dean Ambrose's character. Yeah, I hope that's
always
not.
in hot dogs.
Next he's gonna come out to the hot dog song from the Mickey Mouse Club. Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
It's not the same thing. It's not for me. I hate it. Why is he so interested in spilling gross shit on people? What's his thing?
Because he's the lunatic friend. You never know what he's gonna do. Wow.
Next time,
next it's gonna be chocolate.
After that's pickle juice.
And pickle juice.
That's gross. I mean, I don't hate pickles,
and syrup.
But the juice.
Come.
Whoa! You took that dark.
I just did.
Why would you do that?
Did you say cum?
Yes, he did.
I mean, that I could at least be okay, he's crazy.
He
right?
really is a lunatic. He's ejaculating on people.
It wasn't his.
Oh God!
It was in a jar.
That works better with being.
That would be
crazy.
He's just accumulating people's semen to dump on people.
That would be.
He's got the jack off jar, and he just waits to dump it on people.
How interesting would it be if?
So interesting.
If the WWE contacted the local news or whatever, said,
"Can you jack off in this jar so we can throw it on people?"
No. Let me get to it. If they ran a fake article on the news saying, someone burglarized the local sperm bank, samples were stolen, no one knows, and then they could talk about it at the beginning of Raw, and that's how they.
Well, you would have to be TMZ because that's how you would know that they're in on the work. You'd be like, TMZ's
WWE's reporting.
There's a serial sperm bank robber. I don't know.
The jizz has hit the fan.
Yeah, I don't know.
God. Why do you do this, Tyler?
So I can have conversations like this. Get it started.
God.
Hashtag jizz jar.
No! So, let us know in the comment section what you think that Ambrose is going to use next. I think either chocolate syrup or maybe pancake syrup or something.
If you're gonna do that, hashtag it just jar like Tyler
Just
said.
God. No, just wrong. Okay. After
My
that,
throat hurts.
Triple H came out and said, well, if you guys want to fight Rollins so much, you'll get your chance. You're going to be fighting each other at Hell in a Cell. Winner fights Rollins inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And Stephanie McMahon was like, one of you is going to hell. And then I finished with in a cell because they're both going, and one of them's going to be fighting inside the cell, and it's going to be weird. So with that being said, Ambrose decides to give the double arm DDT to Cena, and fans.
Double arm DDTs like this?
I don't want to fall.
They did pelvic thrust. That's
So,
a double arm DDT.
and the fans were sent home happy because of that, I guess.
Meh.
So, overall thoughts on Raw?
It's pretty bad.
The Rock
Yeah.
came back.
Hey. Yeah, there you go.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
Yo,
Total Divas time.
you already knew. Yeah. So next week there are gonna apparently be 2 episodes. So look forward to that.
I know that.
I don't know why they're releasing 2 new episodes on the same night, but I guess that's for us to figure out next week.
I don't know.
So this week we got some shiz going down.
Let's see.
Where do you want to start?
Eva Marie and her boyfriend
Jonathan.
Jonathan. So I guess they finally got together.
You know,
They're
Red
back in
Robin
town.
was like, what the fuck do you mean by that shit?
What? Jonathan's a cool name. So when
I
they got
love
back-
you, Red Robin.
Yeah, we love you. So they got back together wherever town they live in, and
Jonathan wants a fucking piece, yo. He wants a gun. He wants a
gun.
gat. He wants a piece.
because someone broke into someone's house and the burglar got shot. And he's like, "Hey, we need a gun to protect, our house, and I need to protect you." And she's scared of guns, and
He likes guns.
he's like, "Hey, if you don't like guns, then you don't like America or something like that."
He did say that. He was joking, but he did say that.
Yeah. So she was still scared about
Some
it.
people
and
actually
also-
feel that way.
Yeah. So they went to a gun range.
Shot some shit.
Yeah, she was for it for
Have
a
you
little
ever been to a
bit.
gun range?
Yeah, I have. A few
What'd
times.
you shoot?
My dad has a few handguns.
What gun range did you go to? In
There's
in
one
town?
that's just a little bit outside of Beaumont. They said it's Lumberton, but it's just like, yeah, just down the road. It's,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
pretty
about.
cool.
Actually.
Yeah, if you want to go one of these times, just let me know. My dad has a few guns.
I want to shoot some shit.
Yeah, they're the 6-shooter pistol. That was pretty cool. But he has like some other guns too. And then Sushan,
Shit jar. I want to shoot the shit jar. And
he
the jizz
has
jar.
a lot of guns too. He brought some down too.
So she's got a lot of guns.
Yeah, and he brought him down for Noah's birthday, and Noah shot. You want to know what Noah
He's got a
did?
shotgun.
Noah doesn't even fucking hold a gun. He started doing this. He started turning to his side, and he wasn't even fucking aiming. He was just shooting, and I was like, because I was watching him, I was like, dude, fucking aim. And he's just like, bah, bah. He was just going. I was like, dude, you can't rapid fire. He's rapid firing. The rules, you can't rapid fire. And he was fucking rapid firing. It's like, dude, stop that. And he was like with a little kid, he had a smile on his face. It's like, dude, there's rules.
You gotta worry about a deal like that.
That alarms me, actually, that Noah seeks satisfaction in shooting something rapid fire when it's against the rules.
I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure I'd be smiling too. But the face, if Noah made the face that Tyler is saying he made, and that Tyler demonstrated for us,
You know what cracked me up though? Because after he was done, he put the gun down, and dumbass would take his ear plug or headphones off. You're not supposed to inside the booth, and there was no one there at first. Then some other family came in, and what was cracking me up after he shot down, he took off because he was trying to talk to Sushan. He took off the earmuffs, and when he did, other people were shooting too at the same time. So it was fucking loud. It was like he jumped. I was like, because I was on the
Stupid.
outside. I was like, dumbass, that's what you get.
Somebody who would do that would fucking fill up their car with diesel instead of gasoline.
Oh, Bash Noah. At Bash Noah. Okay, so back to Total Divas. So it's
We could just talk about Noah. I don't know.
Yeah, this is Total Noah.
Oh God, for episode 200, we got to do a Total Noah segment.
Yes. He's like, all right. So they shot a gun at a zombie poster, and I don't know. What was it? AK? They shot.
I don't know what she was shooting. They shot some handguns. They shot some assault rifle looking shit.
And she was into it. Then later on, they were talking, and she was like, "No, you still can't have it." And then apparently, she found out that he bought some guns, and she was pissed. So she was telling her girlfriends that, and plus Titus O'Neil and John, they were all at a table, and they were like, he was like, "Oh no, I can't believe he bought a gun without telling you." And they're like, "We're afraid." Well, the girls were like, "We're afraid of guns," and they finally got back together.
Shit, I'm afraid of guns.
It is scary.
Look, I mean, I would go, like, I'm down to go shoot some guns at the gun range. I think that sounds cool, but, like, I would feel uneasy about, like, having guns laying around the house and shit. And I don't mean literally. I mean, clearly, I'm sure he's going to be responsible and put it away or whatever, but it's still just weird to know that you have a gun in the house or whatever.
Well, she got pissed because they went out to eat, and she was talking to him about it, and she got pissed, and she was like, "I can't believe you bought that without,
this is my favorite part of this episode where she was like, I can't believe, like, you're supposed to, like, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something to the effect of, like, he was a total dick for, like, going against, like, what she had wanted or whatever. I don't remember what he said, so this sounds stupid, but it was, like, the episode, like, after, like, they were fighting about her wanting him to convert and, like, change his religion. And she was, like, making a big deal about how he's such an asshole for getting a gun without telling her. Like, the episode after, it was just really funny.
And she was like, "I know you're trying to be a man, but it's like, you're not going to rule our relationship," or something like that. And then...
Right.
And he
Which clearly he doesn't, because he's sort of, like... No, he doesn't, like, dote on her, but he is sort of, like... He's clearly, like, doesn't, like, wear the pants or whatever. Not that, like, anyone should or it's bad that he doesn't, but he clearly is not the, like, one calling all the shots, because she was like,
And he just pretty much said, "I, want to protect you. I want to protect your home, And she was like, "Well, his heart was in the right place." And it's like, "Well, I'll think about," or I don't know what she said, but it's like, "I want a dog." And he's like, "Yeah, no, we're not getting a dog." So it should have been like, "Okay, if you want a dog, you can get it. I have a gun, so you're okay with it." So straight off. And then that was pretty much it for them. Who else?
Well, the Brian Breeze shit was just talking about, like, his injury. Like, they are talking about how they believe in, like, Eastern medicine, Eastern philosophy. Like, Brian wants to try natural, like, uninvasive, like, ways of, like, rehabbing his injury. They're just, like, coming down on him, like, "Hey, get fucking surgery so you can get back in the ring and make money."
What do you think about the John Cena talking about Daniel Bryan and all that stuff?
What did he... I remember, now that you say that, I remember thinking, like, whoa, who the fuck is he?
They were trying, or Nikki was telling him, like, oh, he wants to do it a natural way and something like, he's like, Brian's the type that he wants his car fixed, but he would bang on the dash or something, but nothing would happen. I don't know, something like that.
He did. Now that you say that, I remember, like, him saying something, but I don't remember what it is now, so I can't really comment. Although I remember being like,
I was like, wow.
Yeah, weird.
But,
like, they're still doing this whole, like, angle on the show where they're like, don't know where their next meal is gonna come from, because they're so dirt poor. They're so,
and then they show cutscenes of, like, what's happened on Raw. So Bree's back. That's when she was in the audience, and and she slapped Stephanie McMahon. That guy was like, "Oh no!" It was like the crazy face. Like, they showed that. I was like, "There's
why
that guy."
Is that guy not as over as Undertaker face guy? Because he's just as crazy looking.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
shit. So she returns to TV, and, like, they play the whole thing. It's like, I guess I gotta go back to work. I gotta earn the money.
Is there any other famous fans besides that? There's Ms. Girl. There's Brock Lesnar guy. There's Undertaker face guy. I hate John Cena guy.
Sign guy.
And then I think that Yeah. I sort of think that, like, really excited about them saying bitch guy should be, like, in their company. Oh, she did. Sorry, go ahead. They're
So
just basically like
they're harping on him because he still doesn't want that surgery or whatever.
Right.
And
she like tries to get her mom involved in shit, and she's like, I understand where you're coming
Nikki
from.
convinced Brie to, like, hey, he needs to get
Brie
surgery.
was sort of already
On the
convinced
fence, I
anyway.
guess.
Yeah. They're all like, just have the surgery so you can get back in the ring and stop making us be so goddamn poor. You guys are not fucking.
You're
I
still
don't
on
buy,
fucking TV.
I don't buy that you're so poor. That's just
Oh my
such an
God.
unbelievable storyline. I get being like conservative with your money and like trying to like plan for the future, but I just don't buy that they're that concerned about money. I just don't. I know they have fucking downsides to their contracts. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And I'm not a genius or a lawyer, and I don't really know that it works. But still.
There's a lot to the contracts. You got probably the toy deal. You got the video game stuff. He's also, if you see on WWE.com or like, or you're on Facebook, he's making appearances in different places.
Right.
So he's on Total Divas, so he's making money.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly just a storyline for the show, which I understand, but I don't believe. I have a hard time believing in it because I know that they're not as. It's not as dire of a situation as they're making out to be. If he was just like, look, we need to be as responsible as possible because it's easy for us to get in trouble. Not, we're so fucking poor. How are we going to pay for our house? Where are we going to eat? Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, like, shut up. Come on, guys. But, so, like, the mom's like, and then Brian, like, handles it like the dude that he is. He's always like, he's real respectful and, like, he makes his case very clearly, but he's like, I would appreciate more support from everybody because this is my body. This is, like, how I think it makes sense to do the least evasive things first.
Like,
and if
people
those
don't know
work-
what's going on. They want to move a nerve to like in my arm, but they don't know
Right.
if that's really gonna fix it.
Yeah.
And that's where they pretty much end it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and then there's
Other thing is like Ariane's brother is misbehaving.
Okay. He's misbehaving, but we don't know if he's doing gang stuff. All it was sitting on a fucking curb.
Oh, but come on, man! That plastic bag that they broke that you don't see the inside of.
It was glass.
Well, it was out.
So,
right?
or yeah,
I thought it was like a bottle of-
because he got a call from the mom, like, oh, I don't know.
I
where.
like the idea that like one day Ariane's mom calls his little brother. He doesn't answer.
His cell phone. Oh shit! Something
He
bad.
didn't go to school. Okay, he skipped school one day, and then he didn't answer his cell phone the same day when she tried to call him about it. Intervention time.
Yeah.
This kid is on a troubled path.
Yes.
We gotta scare this kid straight.
He's trying to act all tough and stuff, and it's like the kid was just sitting there with his friends, and
Clearly, he should have been in school. Clearly, he shouldn't have been drinking. He's underage. Clearly, you should probably answer the cell phone when your mom calls. But like this happens one day, so Ariane has to leave training. She has to come home. She's got to come get Vinny to roll with, which is cool. Vinny's
yeah, very cool.
What's up,
What do
Vinny?
you think you're doing?
Beast mode.
Yeah.
911.
So,
Well, I like how like whenever like those kids were trying to flex on Ariana, he's like, "You need to relax."
yeah. You need to relax.
I mean, he's kind of swole. I think he could fuck someone.
Yeah.
up. Especially
Those kids.
especially teenagers.
And so they had all these, I guess, former gang members and stuff, and like the kid really didn't say that much, but the what was it? It's like you need to respect your mom and all that stuff. It's like I didn't, I wish I would have done all the stuff and that I did, homie. And then I don't know. This one dude had tattoos all over his face.
His name was Tattoo.
Yeah, his tattoo. He wished he didn't get all that stuff, and the kid didn't say it too much. And then went out to eat later on.
And he's just like, "Oh, I realized you guys were having my best interests.
Move your head. I'm trying to read that sign behind me. No. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I realized." Basically, what
I'll
happened
answer
is
my phone,
in the
Mom.
course of one day, he skipped school, didn't answer his phone, so Ariane had to come home, stage an intervention, get him scared straight by ex-gang members. Then they go to dinner the next day, and the kid apologizes. He's been set right on the path again.
Yeah.
She's a miracle
That's it.
worker.
And we're done. What was next week's episode? Oh yeah, more TJ and Natalia drama shit. He doesn't love me anymore.
Joy. Those are my two least
What was the
favorite
one-
people.
what was
Who
the
are
one
your
thing
two?
he's-
Do you dislike anyone as much as you dislike Natty and TJ, they're my
They
least favorite
nag all
couple.
the time. It's just
They suck. They're the worst.
Yeah, one thing that kind of cracked me up though, because she wanted to have sex with TJ and all that stuff in the preview. She's like, "Why don't you just body slam me on the bed?" That's what she said in the preview.
Yeah, I'm
Cracked
so
me up.
tired. I can at least like I can buy into.
I
like,
wonder if they're really just dysfunctional.
they've been together forever. They probably don't really care about each other anymore. They're just together out of habit a bit.
We need money. Let's get on TV. Body slam me on the bed. Fuck the cat.
Like I find it easy to buy into Nikki and John's like we're not gonna get married or are we gonna get married? We're not gonna get married. We're not gonna have kids. We're gonna have kids. Like I can buy into that drama, but when TJ and Natalia, I'm just like I don't give a fuck. You guys are the worst.
No Rosa.
And their cat's
on
ugly.
this.
Yeah,
No
no Rosa.
Yeah, their cat's ugly.
I just want Teddy Hart to guest star like in their house one day, like coming over to hang out with TJ. Like he's got Mr. Money hanging out with the other cat.
Trying to train this cat.
Yeah, check out what I did to train this cat. He can do a backflip. He can do frog splash.
Put your cat in a sleeper hole.
Cat splash. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, we're looking forward to that shit next week. So 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, two.
So how'd you find this out?
They said it.
No. Well, because I watched it on demand, they didn't say that. So
I think they said it on Raw. When they did a commercial
I
for
didn't see
it.
that
Yeah. Yeah. So double time, double action next week, I guess.
Double Divas.
Girl, bye.
There you go. Thanks, guys. Only a little bit of hot topic news this week, and I know Tyler wants to give his thoughts on it. Something about WWE 2K15. Go ahead, Tyler. Floor is
Okay,
yours.
so I made a decision that at the end of this month, I'm gonna try to get a PS4. That's gonna be the next gen I'm picking, next gen console. I want to get 2K15 for it because from what I read, there's more in the 2K15 for next gen that compared to the old gen, I guess. But I'll read some things for you.
It's current gen now, motherfucker.
Current gen.
No longer next gen.
Whatever. Yeah, current gen. That's true. My career mode. That is actually only for PS4 and Xbox One. It says, yeah, all the stuff that you've been reading and we've been saying, all that stuff. So I guess they haven't announced that. I guess all the NXT and all that stuff that's in my career mode, even like the characters, because you'll eventually get to play as them too, as playable characters. I guess they're not in Xbox 360 and PS3.
BS.
Which they have not said that.
Yeah.
If they're not playable characters, but also, what's another thing that says a presentation overhaul, facial and body scanning technology delivers the most realistic WWE superstars, divas, and legends ever. Xbox One and PlayStation 4 only. Also, this says on here, listen to Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole call to action with the best commentary featured in a WWE game. I know you're probably like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
To date, with more than 5 times the lines recorded than any other year. So that's what they said.
I wonder how much random crap they just talk about in there.
I wonder if they got the old
General
stuff plus
banter.
newer stuff.
Yeah. You know what I like about SummerSlam? The Divas.
So, yeah. So they have what's the other thing? So I guess the facial stuff and like in career mode is only for the newer consoles and stuff. So I mean, what I read from my career, it looks interesting in all the NXT stuff. So I really want to play it.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of this month I'm getting PS4.
Current gen is the way to go.
Current gen. I keep on saying next gen.
PS4.
Next gen is PS5.
I'll be getting the PS4 too one day. I'm not sure when, but the reason why I'm laughing while you're talking, I'm sorry. I pulled up a picture. Natalia posted it on her Instagram a few hours ago. It said, I had a great talk with Kane getting ready for main event. And in the WWE storyline, I guess for main event, she's trying to get Tyson kid some matches, and so she's talking to the higher ups. So she posts a picture of herself and says, "Hey, had a great talk with Kane." And the top comment that comes up after that says, "Damn, Nat, you got some big titties." So,
WWE.com?
no, it's on her personal Instagram.
I'm just walking back in on this because I had to take a piss. But
Yeah.
wait, That TJ put that on her Instagram?
No, just some random fan.
I thought I walked in and I heard like you saying they're dysfunctional relationship, blah blah whatever, and then she posted something saying she just talked to Kane, and then he posted.
Kane posted, "Damn, you got some,
You
nice
got
titties."
some big titties,
dude."
I was like, TJ, wouldn't you already know that? Like you're.
Yeah, this is the picture that she posted. She said, "Oh, just had a chat with Kane because, like I said, she's been trying to get Tyson Kidd some matches lately, or whatever, storyline purposes on NXT as well, I guess, main event."
Right.
And so, like, just right up there in the comments,
Wait, which one is it?
the devil one.
He didn't just put it, but like XX on there and like hug.
I don't know.
It's like, yeah, she'll love that.
I don't know how to top that, but I wasn't even finished with the WWE.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't know how to top that, but if it's on Reddit, you're gonna upvote the fuck out of it.
Yeah, look up that picture. One more thing, sorry, for the game. It says gameplay enhancements. Now I can't stop thinking about this.
Good point about the titty.
It says 2K15 will improve the core gameplay experience through key additions, improvements designed to elevate the franchise now and into the future. There's new motion capture technology.
Better than Predator technology.
Yeah, 2K15 includes 5 times more new animations than WWE games before. And listen to this too. They now have it combined with a brand new chain wrestling system. So you know how the last 2 games have been the same? This is going to be a completely new chain.
Great, I gotta learn controls all over again.
But it's the same positions, though. It wouldn't make
I
sense.
would understand. I would think the buttons.
Oh, you mean change the buttons?
Yeah.
Well, then why wouldn't they just be like, we map the controls differently? That's
I don't know.
different than-
This is how they put it. Combined with a brand new chain wrestling system, WWE 2K15 will take the drama and adrenaline of WWE match to new heights, just like on WWE TV. Xbox One and PlayStation 4 only. So I don't know what the hell that means. All the stuff they just said is only for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So is the new chain system only for Xbox One and PlayStation 4? So I don't know. I'm reading this off the website, WWE.
I'm not sure. I
2K15.
don't know how the chain system can be different, though.
I don't know.
What other positions could you naturally work the moves off? There's like the chin lock, wrist lock, rear waist lock. Like, what other positions are they going to give them to base all those moves out of?
Where you're just like, right on their head.
Well, there's like there's the lock up, there's the chin lock, there's the wrist lock, and the reverse face.
So I
Reverse
don't.
face lock.
So there's. I guess I recommend people trying to get stuff on current gen. Yeah, stuff. instead of old gen.
PS4. PS4 is the way to go for
Xbox.
us, right?
Yeah, I'm getting PS4. Doug has a PS4, and
I will be getting
you
one
will be
eventually,
getting a
I guess.
PS4.
I guess so.
Y'all fuckers should have got that Destiny on that PS4, so we got a game.
I
back.
wanted to.
He
But I
was
wanted
the-
to save some money.
Yeah.
I do regret that. Should have just went through. with it.
Also, I know last week I said some of the characters are gonna be an NXT thing. I said Adrian Neville, Bo Dallas, Sami Zayn, Corey
Adam
Graves.
Rose.
Adam Rose is. I don't think I said Adam Rose, but Adam Rose is going to be in there. Rusev and Bo Dallas.
Neat.
But
Yeah.
from what I understand, what I read though, see you create a character, but it's so funny because it's like you have to. You know how in certain games you have tutorials, you have to do certain things to like surpass that mode. Like you're in the ring and there's no one in the arena, and like one of them they said you have to do 10 I guess headlocks in a row or something like that, and I guess you just have to, something pops up, you have to do this. Apparently Bill DeMott is yelling at you. You have to do all this stuff. So, and then you go into NXT, do all that stuff. So it really seems interesting. That career mode thing is really awesome. If it's only for current gen, PS4 and Xbox.
Just instead of saying next gen, just say PS4 or Xbox.
PS4.
One.
I'm just gonna say that because
There you go.
so I'm
Keep
like
saying next gen.
next gen. It's be for PS5. So
Yeah.
and Xbox too.
And there you go. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. With that being said, it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from our boy Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Saying, hey, fellas, with SmackDown celebrating its 15th anniversary soon, I thought I'd ask what your all-time favorite SmackDown moments are and why. There's plenty to choose from, and I wanted to get your thoughts. Hope you're feeling better, Daniel. I hope you're not stressing in wedding plans, Tyler. And I hope you're just comfy, Doug. Till next time.
I like how you guys are defined by things, and you're like, yeah, but Doug, I don't know what the fuck you got going on. It's just like,
keep being comfy.
thanks, Les.
And said, till next time, my friends, stay safe. So, favorite SmackDown moment. We'll get into that. We'll get into the PS after the question is answered.
I don't know. I'm always the worst at answering this type of stuff.
I never got to watch SmackDown enough. That's my biggest problem. Because it was like on UPN. I never had UPN.
I like the old SmackDowns with that the circle or oval background and
Fist.
stuff like that. Even with the fist, that was cool. But I can't think of anything on top of my head. There were some cool things that happened, but
Brock Lesnar and Big Show breaking the ring.
That was cool.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I'll go with that one. Call dibs.
I don't know, man. I would have to. I know there's there was some cool moments, but I can't think on top of my head.
Okay. Any for you, Doug?
I don't know, man. I'm the worst at these type of questions.
So wasn't there supposed to be something after Raw on
The Edge and Christian.
I didn't get to watch it.
Totally reeking of awesomeness.
So what was
thing.
that?
I don't know. I didn't get to watch it.
Oh.
So yeah, there you go. We'll just say the Brock Lesnar Big Show breaking the ring. He says, P.S. Tyler, in an answer to the question last week.
Hey, was that when Bryan had his first title run and he had the cage match with Mark Henry? That was on SmackDown, right? That's a recent memory.
That's
Yes.
That's a recent memory of a match that I really
Well, they also
liked.
had one where he fought Henry and Big Show, and I think that was at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but I think he had recent memory. I mean, dude, I can't think as far as like history. I'll be here all night trying to think of stuff. But just like in recent history, like Mark Henry's first, not his first, his first quote unquote Hall of Pain reign was predominantly on SmackDown, and that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
As well as Bryan's first title reign
After he cashed in.
was predominantly on SmackDown, and that was
Right.
awesome as well. And they actually were working with each other a lot, and that was fucking awesome.
Was
Yeah.
the Billy and Chuck wedding on SmackDown?
I think so.
Like that.
The partnership.
Yeah.
That could be one. So yeah, so Thomas also says, P.S. Tyler, in answer to the question last week, I would have thought and perhaps hoped that you would have said your engagement and upcoming wedding to your lovely fiance would be the biggest accomplishment.
I like that there were so much internal debate about it. They were like,
at least
do you think he means
he says, at least that's what I've been informed the answer should be.
Well,
Was that
it
by
will
you or
be
Daryl?
Whenever
It wasn't by
after I
me.
get married. So that will be the answer after I get married.
I mean, that's what I said
Did
flat
you
out.
tell him?
Like it's not your
He said he
now
was
fiance
informed.
saying yes to your proposal.
So I didn't ever tell him this.
I
Daniel didn't. So if you did, Daryl put
Daryl
Los
or
up,
Ben.
made him ask
Probably
this
Ben.
question.
Or I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He saw I was engaged.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Big accomplishment.
I don't know. I like the fact that we couldn't decide.
yeah,
if that
I
was,
was like bear puns.
I like the fact that we couldn't decide if it's your upcoming wedding or bear buns. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's one or the other there, Fry Man.
Bear puns? I bet Thomas has like his hand, like his palm on his forehead, like this motherfucker.
Bet Daryl would love to hear that.
Yeah.
So Tyler, what's your biggest accomplishment in
It
your
will
in your
be
life?
after-
It's either
I don't know, guys. Do you think he's talking about bear puns?
bear puns?
You guys think he's talking about bear puns?
I can barely imagine what they're gonna say.
Well, last week I didn't say the weight. I said it was the weight or bear puns.
Yeah.
But I wasn't
Let's see
thinking. I was
both.
like,
We're just both
what could be? What could be my biggest accomplishment?
Set out and accomplish something. So there you go. So final question coming to us from Seth Rickson saying, does anyone else think that Damien Sandow is better at being the Miz than the Miz?
Probably so.
No, because
He's doing his own thing. And
well,
that's a good thing.
like being his quote unquote stunt double lends itself to a comedy position, and it wouldn't work as well if like the Miz himself isn't like the comedy part of the gimmick. Like Sandow's part is the comedy part, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't work as well if Miz was the comedy character as well. like just that one position lends itself to the comedy that Sandal's going with. So I don't think so. Like you need Miz to play it straight for Sandow to work, right?
Yeah, and I know it's eventually going to lead to like a Sandow face run, but I think they need to hold off on that as long as they can because, you know, once they get done with the Miz feud, where are they going to go with Sandow? So I think kind of play this, like let it run its course. Don't rush it.
Well, that's that's the danger with these
Let it
people like chanting for him. Like they're like like everyone was chanting for Sandow instead of the Miz or whatever.
Yeah. Which
is fine. I'm not going to retread my argument of who you should and shouldn't cheer for, but be careful what you wish for because I know for goddamn sure that Damien Mizdow has been more enjoyable to me than any other fucking thing Damien Sandow has done, any other match that he's ever had. And this is just a throwaway like comedy gimmick that he's doing as Miz's sidekick.
Yep.
So remember all that time where he was directionless and not doing fucking anything but trading wins with guys like Sheamus and losing his money in the bank briefcase. Like if you want, like why people are so into him right now is because of what he's doing, but you cheering for him to do something else takes him out of doing that.
Right.
So then he's right back to where he was before when no one gave a fuck because he wasn't doing anything.
Exactly.
So just let it play out naturally. Don't try to fucking force anyone's hand.
Good stuff. So there you go. Great episode, guys. Fun stuff. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video, our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Twitter at WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, at Tyler_Abear.
Mostly Tyler_Abear.
Yeah,
The
fuck
path
all-
to a million still
Fuck all those other ones.
on its way. I think you're at
Tyler_Abear.
33 or 34, somewhere around there. I check every once in a while just to see how you're doing. Does your phone go off every once in a while whenever I tag you in something?
No, since with my new phone, I haven't logged into my Twitter account.
You got to get on that. You're going to have like all kinds of notifications from people.
When I log in, it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yep. So there you
Guys,
go.
he's not going to tweet until he gets 1 million followers. So fucking follow the guy. Jesus.
Yeah. So there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm the bear without a name.
I like how he immediately buried his hands in his
just
face
like,
and
that
his
was
hands
all.
in shame. He's like, why did I say that? I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.